This stage is for underground artists, entrepreneurs, and game changers. The people you see selling CDs out of their trunks, popping books on the side of the freeway, sacrificing time away from their kids, dumping their savings in their tanks and hitting the road. It's for the weirdos, trendsetters, alternative thinkers redefining the field with their alternative mindsets. Mitchs Uncut is a movement. It's about passion, sacrifice, believing in yourself when no one else does. Mitchs Uncut is for you. We all know who we are. And now, you will too. What's up, muses? This is your girl, Ahavah Mauré, and this is Mitchs Uncut Original Concept. I am here with a complete game changer, national award-winning sleight of hand artist, author, and inspirational speaker, Mr. Mitch Williams.
Hi, Ahavah. It's
Hi.
a pleasure to be here. I'm
Thank
really
you.
excited.
I really am too. You are incredible. You have too many news appearances and media appearances to name, but we'll start with a few. You're a resident performer down at a bar.
Don't believe everything you read.
It's all good. I've only heard good things. You've also been invited. Have a recurring segment over at WKTV.
Yes, I'm there once a month on the third Thursday of the month usually.
What's your segment called?
You know, I don't think we've come up with a name for it, but yeah, I'm on the morning news program there, and I usually come on and do some magic for them and interact with the
That's awesome. That's a great way to start the day.
Yeah.
On an inspirational note, which is what you're all about.
Pretty much, yeah. Yeah.
So I want to talk about when your interest first developed in magic.
Well, some of my earliest memories involve doing magic because my dad knew some magic tricks because his brother was a magician, and so he taught me a couple simple things, and I just kind of caught that bug early on, and you know, I would go to the library and check out all the books on magic and build my own magic props and stuff like that, and I just, you know, kind of got a passion for it, and it just kind of took off from there.
About how old were you when you realized that I'm, one, really good at this, and two, like, this means something to me. It's not just a hobby.
Well, you know, I went back and forth, but I guess probably in my early teen years, I started thinking of it really seriously as a pursuit, a professional pursuit, and doing it as a career. You know, I got involved with some of the other magicians in the Central Illinois area here where I was growing up, and you know, started doing some professional shows when I was a teenager, and then did some training later on, and eventually moved out to Los Angeles and really pursued it full time.
So you have made a lucrative career off of being a sleight of hand artist, and also your amazing books, which we're going to get to. Were you always well received in your adolescence and in even adulthood when you tell people that you're a magician or sleight of hand artist? What's that like?
Well, you know, I get different responses from different people. You know, as a kid, I'm just trying to do little tricks for other kids, and they're like, "Oh, it's over there," and you know, it's kind of a competitive sort of a thing. But and you know, one of the challenges as an adult though is that a lot of people, you know, they hear magic and they think, you know, pulling rabbits out of hats and stuff like that, and it can and often is, and I hope what I do is a little more sophisticated than just that. And has a little more depth and a little more fun and a little more, you know, intrigue. And so, yeah, part of my job, I guess, is re-educating people about what magic is all about.
And I have to say that I have limited knowledge on the area as well. Why is that? Why does magic not get the same kind of attention or reception as other performing arts?
Well, I think that's kind of the responsibility of us magicians, because a lot of us, and I certainly did this when I was starting out, and you know, to some degree I tend to fall into it, is that you know, they make it all about the secret and not knowing how I do this, and then it becomes this competitive thing. And if you're going to do magic or anything as an art form, it's got to have more to it than that. It's got to be about a human connection. It's got to be about reaching people on an emotional level, on a psychological level, or something more than just trying to figure it out and making this competition between me and the audience.
Okay, wow. That's really powerful.
Yeah.
Tell me about your staple, using magic to help people find the better in them, to empower people. What exactly is that?
Well, it's a long story and it's a big story and probably more than we have time to go into right now. But you know, I as a teenager, I was also involved in other pursuits like judo and the martial arts, and you know, because of that, I was introduced in Eastern philosophies and that sort of thing. And for a while, I had aspirations to try to make the Olympic judo team, and so I got really interested in peak performing. You know. People who are peak performers and people that excel at what they do. So that became another passion for me. And when I chose to pursue magic full time, you know, that was a definite element in what I was doing. You know, I wanted to bring some of that excelling into my approach to magic. And eventually these different things began to merge, so that I began to see that you know, the way I approach magic as an art form and as a performance art was, you know, there was a deeper kind of element to it, and I was really interested in how it affected people emotionally and psychologically. That experience of wonder is like this profound thing. It really is. And I found crossover in the things that I studied about human transformation and personal development and all of those things, and realized that I could put these together. And so I started also developing programs where I do inspirational speaking that also combines magic along with it.
Okay, wait.
Sure.
How does magic affect inspirational speaking? I mean, I've got to tell you, there have been times where I just completely bombed on stage doing open mic, or where I just, you know, felt, you know, overcome with doubt about something that I'm trying to achieve. How can magic help me with that?
Well, a lot of ways. First of all, that moment of wonder, that experience we have when we experience wonder, you know, and that can be magic, it can be anything. It can be, you know, out in nature and you see something you've never seen before and you're like, oh.
Absolutely.
Well, that experience of wonder is transformative. And when we allow ourselves to go there, it actually brings us up a notch, and it brings us into the moment. And being in the moment is what peak performance is all about too. You know, when you're on stage and you're feeling nervous, well, you're not thinking, you're not in the moment.
Right.
You're worried about what's going to come next, or you're, you know, feeling bad about what just happened. You know? And being in the moment is what allows us to get on track, to get into a flow, into the zone, you might say. And so that experience of wonder is one form of that, and it's one way to open up to that. And it's a reminder of that too. But magic is also about transcending our limitations. You know, I believe in real magic. I believe that we can all do things that seem totally impossible. Okay. And it's all about a mindset. It's all about believing in the impossible. And you know, when you think of that, when you see yourself as a magician, my book is called A Call to Magic, and it's about making a commitment to that part of our lives that is real magic. Yeah. You know, whether that means a connection to a creative pursuit, or a connection to whatever our passion is, or a connection to a relationship, or a spiritual connection. They're all magic. It's real stuff. It's deep stuff.
What are some of the classes that you founded?
Some of the classes, you mean like the talks that I do? One of my main keynote presentations is called The Magic of Inspiration. And it's all about the experience of inspiration, what it is, why it's really magical, how to have more of it in our lives. And you know, I dig into some of those elements, and I use magic to kind of illustrate a lot of the ideas. So you know, it's not just an intellectual understanding of the ideas, it's also going into the emotion and the wonder of it. You know, and
are they like series? Do you get to see your clients evolve and transform? I think that would be the most rewarding.
Well, yeah, I don't do a lot of the coaching side of the thing.
Okay.
It's more inspirational speaking, so
Okay.
I'm speaking for a big group. But I do get feedback in the sense that, people come and say, wow, you really made me think and you made
Yeah.
me feel, and somebody will come and say, you made me laugh and you made me cry.
Yeah.
And that's humbling to realize that you've touched people in that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I do have a question. Is a sleight of hand artist and a magician, are those interchangeable?
Well, a sleight of hand artist is a particular type of magician. There are different styles of magic, and that's the one that I was always passionate about, because for me it had the most artistry about it, and it was the purest form of magic. I'm a little biased about that, but it's because it also comes from my background in movement disciplines, I think.
Okay.
But
I can see that connection.
yeah, sleight of hand is about using physical skill to accomplish the magic technique, and approaching it as an art form, you have to be able to blend what's happening technically behind the scenes, if you will, with what I'm expressing openly to the audience, and it needs to be seamless, because it's like a special effect in a movie. If you're in a movie and you see a special effect and you start thinking, well, how is that working and how did they do that? Something isn't right. They didn't do something right. You got to be lost in the story. And so...
and feel like immersed in the moment.
So the technique needs to be invisible. It needs to be part of what I'm conveying to the audience, and part of the story that I'm weaving there.
I was just going to ask you, how do you know when you're ready? But that would be it. If you can perform it for someone and they're not asking you about your technique, they're involved.
When you're starting out, I think you got to get out there and perform, and you got to, sometimes you're going to fall on your face a little bit, like with anything. You have mistakes, and you learn from them, and so that's okay. But you got to get out and do it.
What have been some of your favorite places to do your work?
Well, performing magic, probably one of my favorite places was always the Magic Castle in Hollywood. It's the most famous magic nightclub in the world.
Okay.
And when I was living in Los Angeles, I was one of the regular performers there.
Awesome.
And one of the favorite performers there. And I worked in all the different showrooms, which is somewhat unusual because usually magicians focus either on stage or on stand-up, parlor type things, or close-up, but I do all of those. The audiences at the Magic Castle are just wonderful. They're there to see magic, and so it's kind of a
well, that makes a difference.
Yeah, big difference. It's different with working for a corporate group. If I'm going to do a program, either entertainment or inspirational speaking, I got to grab their attention. I got to get them on my side right away. And
I've never heard of companies that would hire a magician. Is that for like an orientation or
all kinds of
some
things.
kind of ethics class that they would have to teach employees, or why would they bring you on board?
All kinds of events. In fact, that's one of my major markets is the corporate world. They will have employee appreciation events where they just want entertainment for it.
Okay.
Like a banquet or things like that. Or they'll have training days where they want an inspirational speaker that's not going to put everybody to sleep.
Yeah.
So magic is a good hook for that, and it's when you combine an emotional experience with information, the information is retained much better and much longer, and so it's a natural combination that works really well together.
I like that. It reminds me of the quote that people will only retain so much of what you teach them or say to them, but they'll remember how you made them feel.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm so excited. I'm waiting for you to, just scare the crap out of me with some tricks. I don't know what you're going to do at any moment. We're going to take a quick break, and then when we get back, we're going to dive into a call to magic. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, Muses. I'm your girl, Ahavah Mauré, and I'm sitting here with real-life magician, Mr. Mitch Williams, with a focus on sleight of hand artistry. But I think we still might have some critics out there. Can I put you on the spot to show us some magic right now?
Absolutely.
Okay. I don't like how eagerly you said that. I'm a little scared.
Well, that's because I'm going to put you on the spot, too.
Okay, I'm ready.
Magic is about imagination. It's about expanding our imagination. And so we're going to do something just with our imagination.
Okay.
Okay? And you have to help.
Don't hypnotize me.
I won't hypnotize
Okay.
you. This is about our imagination.
Okay.
If we use our imagination right, we can bring something from nothing into reality. Okay. That's the way any inspired vision comes about. First, we have an idea in our imagination, and then we do whatever it is we need to do to make it become real. That's magic. So here's what we're going to do. I think right here. Yeah. Have you ever seen one of these before?
Yes.
Good. This is an invisible deck of playing cards. Okay. They're the blue-backed bicycle cards. Oh, with the really big numbers, the jumbo index cards.
Okay.
Can you take the cards for me, please?
Sure.
Okay, first of all, we're going to use our imagination here. We're going to create something real, okay? So first of all, take the cards and mix them up. Give them a quick shuffle so we know they're... Oh, Ahavah. It's a lot easier if you take them out of the box first.
Okay.
Take them out of the box. Put the box on the table there. Yeah, make sure you don't lose the box. Put it. Yeah, there you go. Okay. Now give them a quick shuffle.
Are they in plastic wrap?
No, it's been used before. So good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And
man, you're good at this.
Take a huge chunk.
Good.
Okay, got it.
Okay, now here's what I want you to do. I want you to look through the. Oh wait, you dropped one. It's right there by your shoe. Yeah. She's crazier than I am. Okay, all right. Using our imagination, I want you to look through the cards. I want you to take out a card. Oh, but when you do, make sure it's not an ace or a joker, since those are kind of obvious choices. Okay? Any other card would be fine. Yeah. But any other card would be fine. Okay? Take it out, take a look at it, show it to the folks.
Can I change it?
Yeah, if you want. Sure.
I didn't like that one.
It's all about imagination.
You said not an ace or a king.
Or a joker.
Or a joker.
Yeah. Any other card is fine.
Okay, I got it.
You're being thoughtful. I like that. Okay,
it's the same card it was last time.
Show the folks at home. Show the folks at home.
Okay, this is my card.
Okay, now take that card, turn it upside. I won't look. Okay. Take that card, turn it upside down, put it back in the deck so that it's backwards, upside down.
So facing you?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Even up the cards. Grab the box back from over there.
Okay.
And make sure you close the flap. And just toss them back over here to me. Thank you. Oh, that is so cool.
I love that.
So we used our imagination. We manifested something real. And you were thinking of a card, right? That you chose, and you turned it upside down. You put it back in there. What was the card that you were thinking of?
A queen of spades.
Really?
It was.
Let's take a look here. We'll give these. I don't see. Let's give them a quick cut. She probably thinks it's really going to work.
I really do.
Oh, wait.
If it doesn't, it's because I was thinking wrong.
There is one. That's the only one I see. I'm sorry. What was your card again?
It was definitely the queen of spades. Let's see if you can put the cards where.
You mean the two of diamonds?
Nope. Queen of
you're
spades.
right. It was the queen of spades.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, I might not be well versed in magic, but I do know that you're not allowed to ask a magician his tricks.
You can ask.
I can ask?
Yeah.
How did you do that?
Extremely well.
I love that.
Thanks.
I absolutely love that. I can imagine.
Would you like to keep the cards? Here you go.
I'll keep these.
Okay.
So, what are the type of reactions that you get from folks? Okay, I'm going to really put that in my pocket. How do you move people?
Well, it's not always up to me. One of the things I write about in my book is that magic is about creating real magic. It's about creating those moments of wonder. And I can only influence people in that direction. They have to be willing participants in it. When the real magic happens, it's because we're connected. It's because they're taking part in that magical moment and creating it right along with me.
That was really awesome.
Thank you.
Definitely moving. Where else can we find you?
Well, I'm at regularly in Peoria. I'm at a place called Tannis Hops on Thursday evenings, right now at least. And
what can we expect from you there?
I do close-up magic. I just kind of go around to people when they're there and go up to their table or where they happen to be at the bar or whatever, and do little bits of sleight of hand magic for them and just kind of blow their socks off.
And WKTV, of course.
Yep.
Do you have any performances or special events coming up?
Not in Peoria right now, public events. A lot of my stuff are private events, though,
Okay.
you know, for corporations or for private parties and things like that. So they're not necessarily open to the public.
And
but,
how do we get a hold of you if we want
Yes,
one of those?
when they are, my entertainment programs are on my entertainment website, MitchWilliamsMagic.com. My speaking programs are on MitchInspires.com. And my public schedule is generally on my Facebook page, which is Mitch Williams Magical Artist.
Okay. And are we able to book you from your sites?
Absolutely, yeah.
Get the
You
book
can
from your
get in
site?
touch from me, and yeah, I will help with that.
Do you have any other social medias, Twitter, Instagram?
My Twitter is Magical Mitch.
Thank you so much.
Thanks
I
for having
found that
me.
incredibly moving. Definitely have more practical and realistic knowledge base now about what magic is, and I think that's the best part of magic. I mean, what you were talking about, moving people, transforming people, inspiring people to go beyond and be better than what they thought that they could. I mean, that's noble. That's awesome.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. You saw it first here. Check out the book, Magic Mitch, Mike's Uncut.